Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Boise and I am your reigning, defending Smack Talk Predictions Champion. That's right, it's our WrestleMania 35 Predictions episode. As usual, Mr. J could not make it, but he did text me all his predictions for this year's WrestleMania. So with all this said and done, we'll have a look at it. And I know what you're thinking, hold on, we still have a Raw and SmackDown episode to go. And I completely agree. But let's be honest, there's only two other matches which could be added, and that's the Raw Tag Team titles or the SmackDown Tag Team titles. And seeing as Raw have already announced that the Raw Tag Team titles will be defended tonight's episode of Raw, I can't see them being added to WrestleMania. And with SmackDown, let's be honest, if they did add the SmackDown Tag Team titles to WrestleMania, they'll probably just throw it straight into the kickoff show, which that title does not deserve to be put on, because hell, the Usos and everyone on SmackDown Live who've been involved in the tag team division over there deserves a lot better than that. And I think they should just have a full episode of SmackDown Live where we work out a tag team show, where everyone competes to take on the Usos for the tag team championships. But that would be just my opinion. Now with all that said and done, let's have a look at WrestleMania 35 and give you our predictions. So let's hit the music. So in no particular order, let's have a look. So we're going to first look at the Women's Battle Royale. Let's be honest, who else could win it but one person and one person only? A woman who only just recently got screwed over by WWE, Asuka. That's right, we both believe that Asuka is most likely going to win the Women's Battle Royale, just to give her that WrestleMania moment, and hell, just to say sorry Asuka, we screwed up your women's match at WrestleMania. Here's a nice little consolation prize. Enjoy your moment in the sun. Now let's hope that does happen, because if Asuka doesn't win the Women's Battle Royale and gets added into a Fatal 4-Way, that would just be killer. But no, let's just continue. We both went with Asuka. It's the safest bet we've got, and let's be honest, it would be nice for her to actually have a WrestleMania moment. Next up, we're looking at the André the Giant Battle Royale. Now this one again is usually a match no one really cares about. It was built up quite big a few years ago when Cesaro was the first winner of it, but since then, let's be honest, seeing as Mojo Rawley was the last person to win it, no one really cares about the André the Giant Battle Royale. But this year they're actually putting a bit of effort into it, seeing as we've got Braun Strowman and two guys who I've never heard of from SNL. And I don't know what SNL is, I just know that that's what it's thing. It's a TV show. But yes, who could win it? Well, let's be honest, Braun Strowman's in it, so most likely Braun Strowman. They really like their big, sweaty men on WWE. So we're going for big, sweaty Braun Strowman to win the André the Giant Battle Royale. Unless The Undertaker returns in that, I doubt that will happen. But yes, we're going for Braun Strowman. Next up, we're having a look at a feud which has lasted 5 billion years. And that is Bobby Lashley versus Finn Bálor for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, like I stated, it feels like this feud has gone on forever. And this is the second year on the row where Finn has gone into WrestleMania challenging for the Intercontinental Championship. So who do we see going in? Well, for both me and Jay, we've gone for the same person yet again. This is 3 on the trot. Jesus Christ. Finn Bloody Bálor. But we just hope that this time round Finn wins the title. He goes into demon mode, beats Bobby in like 2 seconds flat, and then we can enjoy the rest of WrestleMania knowing that Finn Bálor is back at being Intercontinental Champion, because let's be honest, Bobby Lashley really does not add anything to the Intercontinental Championship. Let's just hope that Finn can take the title off him, and let's have a good run this time as the IC champion. Next up, we're looking at the United States Championship match between Rey Mysterio and Samoa Joe. this is probably one of the matches where I would change on SmackDown just before we go to WrestleMania by 1, adding ladders, and 2, adding 2 more men who definitely deserves a WrestleMania match this year, R-Truth and André Cien Almas. I think those men both deserve it. They had some fantastic matches in the Fatal 4-Way. I know we've seen it quite a few times between these 4, but let's be honest, add the ladders match to it, adds a new idea to the matches, and plus, let's be honest, seeing what Andrade and Rey Mysterio could do with ladders would be absolutely bloody brilliant. Me and Mr. J though, we're going to keep it to Rey versus Samoa Joe for now, but if it does change, that would be fantastic. But I'm going to go for Rey Mysterio. I think it would be a great heartwarming moment. Rey's first WrestleMania back into the company, winning the US title, and Mr. J has gone with probably the most dominant man in WWE right now, Samoa Joe. Next up, we're looking at a match which definitely could be match of the night if they are given so much time, because let's be honest, it's against 2 guys who are classed as some of the best wrestlers in the world, AJ Styles and Randy Orton. I know a lot of people don't class Randy Orton as one of the best, but look at his catalogue of work. He definitely is up there with, with Cena as one of the best workers in WWE. This has to be a classic in the making. Both men are really going at it, and you can tell that there's a lot of passion with both, AJ Styles and Randy Orton, coming from 2 different backgrounds. AJ being an indies wrestler and Randy Orton being a classic WWE superstar. So both men really want to prove a point. This was a very difficult choice for both me and Mr. J. We didn't really know where it could go. Let's be honest, Vince does love Randy Orton. He would love the idea that a WWE superstar does demolish a indie superstar. But end of the day, Vince does love himself a bit of AJ Styles, which you can't blame him, because hell, AJ is the man which built SmackDown Live. So we both agreed this was so difficult, but we're going for the phenomenal AJ Styles to win this match. But there's going to definitely be an RKO out of nowhere. Next up, we're looking at a match which is going to be an interesting match to say the least. Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. Now this for me is going to be a hell of a match. Hard hitting, destructive type of match. Hell, if they made it a hardcore match, that would just make it perfect. But it will be interesting to see. This is going to be Roman's first singles match, after beating leukemia. This is exciting. I'm excited to see Roman back in action. I think Drew McIntyre is the perfect competitor to take him on. He is one of the best workers. He's a great heel. It's going to be a great storyline for that. And yes, it will most likely be Roman who gets that big WrestleMania moment. But hell, end of the day, he deserves that kind of match. And he deserves that big win coming back for WrestleMania. So both me and Mr. J both agreed it's definitely going to be Roman's time to shine. Next up, we're looking at the Cruiserweight Championship match, where we'll see Buddy Murphy defend against his former best friend, Tony Nese. Now, again, I keep saying to people, 205 is a hidden gem on the WWE Network. If you haven't seen what these guys are doing, check it out, guys. This has been a great storytelling build up towards these 2 men, and I cannot wait to see how it goes down. Buddy Murphy won the title back at the Super Showdown in Australia, and now he's taking on his former BFF, Tony Nese, for the 205 crown of the Cruiserweight Championship. So who did me and Mr. J go for? Well, this was very difficult, but we both agreed Buddy Murphy's done a fantastic job as Cruiserweight Champion, but maybe it's time for a change right now. And Tony Nese is one of those guys who's been there since day one, and it would be good for him to finally get the title after working so hard to becoming one of the legitimate best wrestlers on 205. So for us, we both went for Tony Nese. Next up, we're looking at the first ever Women's Tag Team Championship match at WrestleMania, where we see Sasha Banks and Bayley defend their titles against none other than Tamina, Nia Jax, the Divas of Doom, Beth Phoenix and Natalya, and the IIconics. Now, for me, this is a huge match, and I cannot wait to see how it goes down. It's definitely going to be the only tag team match right now which is on the card. So this could be interesting to see how it goes. So, where did me and Mr. J predict? Now, finally, me and Mr. J did predict two different predictions on this one. Jay went with none other than Tamina and Nia Jax. He thinks that the dominating bigger force of these two strong Samoan women will be what costs everyone else these titles, and they will take them on. For me, on the other hand, I think it's going to be none other than the Hug and Boss connection to retain the titles, because I think they still got a long way to go to help rebuild this, you know, to build this women's tag team division. The only thing I've got to say though, which does disappoint me, is 3/4 of the team in this Fatal 4-Way are from Raw. Yes, Beth Phoenix is technically retired, but her tag team partner Natalya is a member of a Raw roster. Tamina and Nia Jax are Raw, and Sasha Banks and Bayley are Raw as well. The only ones from a different brand are the IIconics, and that is a bit of a shame, especially when we were promised where we get the women's tag team titles defended on all the brands, including NXT. For me personally, I would have rather had someone from NXT coming up instead of Tamina and Nia Jax. I think that would have made it a little bit more fairer, and we could have still have Beth Phoenix and Natalya have that, you know, reunion as well. But that's just my only gripe about this one match at WrestleMania. But everything else I am looking forward to. So like I state, Mr. J's gone with Nia Jax and Tamina. I have gone with none other than the current champions, Sasha Banks and Bayley. Next up, we're looking at the Falls Count Anywhere match, where we say Shane O'Mac taking on The Miz. This for me is going to be a hell of a match, and you know for a fact now it's Falls Count Anywhere, Shane O'Mac is jumping off something very, very tall, and I cannot wait and see. The Miz's transformation from a heel to babyface has been absolutely fantastic, and the same can be said about Shane O'Mac's heel transformation as well. Both men have done so much good work. This feud just feels so exciting to see. It's one of the matches I am really looking forward to, mainly because I want to see how it goes down. I won't be disappointed if Shane wins, and I won't be disappointed if The Miz wins. So who have we predicted for? Well, to be honest with you, I have gone with The Miz. I think it's about time he has a big WrestleMania moment, because he hasn't had one in several years. And Jay has gone with Shane O'Mac. Again, someone who does deserve a WrestleMania moment, and a heel Shane O'Mac is a dangerous Shane O'Mac. But it'll be definitely one of the biggest matches for us to see, and we cannot wait to see how it goes down. Next up, we're looking at Triple H versus Batista. This is a no-holds-barred match. If Batista beats Triple H, he retires. Triple H retires from WWE. Wow. Not from management, just for in-ring performances. Wow, this is a huge match. For me, this is exciting. This is a great way you could sign off Triple H, but against a heel opponent, I just can't see it happening. Mr. J has gone with Batista. He thinks it's about time for Triple H to retire, and Batista is one of the rare superstars you could call on to actually have that retirement match, either being heel or babyface, and really, really put away the cerebral assassin. For me, I think this is a good way for pretty much one more match later on in the year, you know, maybe a year later, where it is a retirement match for Triple H. But yes, I'm going for Triple H to win. Mr. J is going for Batista to win. And now the match where I don't think anyone's really looking forward to seeing at WrestleMania, Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin. Again, do I really have to state where we could have so many superstars? Yes, we're seeing them on TV, but let's be honest, I want to see these matches at WrestleMania, not on TV. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but it definitely feels like this is definitely going to happen now. So who are we going for? Well, Mr. J has gone for Baron Corbin. He reckons this is, you know, it is Kurt Angle's final match. They want to give a young superstar a massive push, and I cannot blame him for going for that choice. On my own thing is, does Baron Corbin need any more pushes? He's had a ton of them. And let's be honest, he still can't get over in any way as being a heel or a babyface. Well, he's never been a babyface or as a heel. No one really cares about Baron Corbin. Don't get me wrong, he's definitely a good worker. You can tell that in the ring. He's improved so much since he first came up from NXT to the main roster, and I don't take anything away from that. He has definitely improved in my opinion. It's just, I just don't care about seeing Baron Corbin at WrestleMania, especially in a big marquee match like this. For me, I'm going for Kurt Angle. I want this to be a good farewell match. Yes, you can have Baron Corbin attack him after the match, and that will be it, and make Corbin get a ton of heat that way. But let's be honest, I want to see Corbin tap out to the ankle lock one last time, and then you can do whatever you want. But I want Kurt's final match to be ending in a victory. Now we're down to the last 3 championship matches. First off, we're looking at the Universal title match, the match which has the least build up to it. It's Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar. Don't get me wrong, this is definitely going to be a brilliant match, but it just has no real build compared to everyone else coming into this last 3 matches. Brock Lesnar's barely there on TV. The fans all want Seth to win, and I cannot blame him. Seth Rollins is a hell of a competitor. He was a fantastic champion when he was WWE champion, when he was a heel. I want to see him as a champion as a babyface now, and I think him beating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania would be just brilliant. Seth Rollins is one of the best wrestlers in the company right now, and him holding one of the biggest titles and bringing it back onto Raw would really elevate the title's prestigiousness. Let's be honest, without the Universal title on Raw right now, the Intercontinental Championship is technically the biggest title you can win on Raw. Seth winning the title and making it his own like he did with the Intercontinental Championship would be hell of exciting to see. So I am going for Seth Rollins. Jay on the other hand goes, ha ha ha, it's Brock Lesnar, he's going to win, it's Brock bloody Lesnar, it won't even be fun to watch. Cannot blame him for saying that. But we'll have to wait and see, but this match could definitely be a very exciting match to see. Next up, we're looking at a B+ player taking on the new Daniel Bryan. That's right, Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. This has been one of the best built matches in recent months now. Kofi has just elevated himself in a way I just didn't expect when he came into being that substitute superstar into that gauntlet match, and look at where he is now. Kofi Mania is exciting. I cannot wait to see this match. It's the one match I'm truly excited about seeing. Where do we see this going? I can't tell you. But one thing for definite, Kofi needs to win the title. If this is the only shot he's ever going to get really at the title, even if it's a short reign as WWE Champion, Kofi Kingston, being a veteran for 11 years with WWE, deserves to hold the title. So, for both me and Mr. J, we both agreed it has to go Kofi Mania. We're both going Kofi Kingston to win the WWE title. Last but not least, the main event of WrestleMania being announced last week. Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair. What a match. We have 2 women's champions in this match and the man herself, Becky Lynch. This is exciting. Yes, I think the feud has kind of fizzled out a bit in recent weeks. I think they really don't need to build it up anymore. They got the tag team match tonight on Raw, but let's be honest, guys. If it just left it, if it just did a video montage and just did it that way, the fans would be like, right, we know, it's exciting, let's just get on with it. This is an exciting one to see, and we both agreed that this could be an exciting time for any woman in this match. With the rumours going that Ronda Rousey is leaving WWE after WrestleMania because of a 1-year contract coming up, where do we see this time? Well, seeing as Charlotte has just recently won the SmackDown Women's title, and I've got a theory about everything else, I'm going to go with Becky Lynch, the man herself. She deserves a big WrestleMania match. I keep saying this all the way through the night. They deserve a big WrestleMania match. You deserve a big WrestleMania. I deserve a big WrestleMania match. Everyone deserves a big WrestleMania. But Becky Lynch is definitely one of those people who definitely deserves this big WrestleMania match. She definitely deserves a big WrestleMania moment, and I want to see it happen live. So I'm going with Becky Lynch. Jay, on the other hand, wants Charlotte to be the first ever Raw/SmackDown Women's Champion. Not just because he fancies Charlotte Flair, which he does, he's absolutely in love with the woman, but no, he has decided that Charlotte Flair deserves to be a champion on both brands, apparently, and he has gone with Charlotte. Now for me, my final prediction, now this doesn't count any points, but I reckon Becky's going to win the title, Charlotte's going to be SmackDown Women's Champion, Bayley and Sasha Banks come out with their tag team titles, and then the rest of the 4 horsewomen of the UFC versus the 4 horsewomen of WWE will happen at some point. Probably the next pay-per-view with all 4 titles on the line. Wow. But with that said and done, that's our predictions for WrestleMania. And there you go, guys. That's our WrestleMania 35 predictions. I know we still have a Raw and SmackDown episode to go, but let's be honest, if they do add any more matches, bloody hell, it will already be a long ass show. But what are your predictions for WrestleMania? Leave it in the comments below. And if you do like our videos, don't forget to like, subscribe and press that bell to keep notified. If you want to follow me on the old Twitter, it's at Boise88. If you want to follow the channel on the old Twitter as well, it's at Smack Talk YouTube. That's a U, then a tube. And if you want to follow Mr. J on Instagram, it's LJ on Instagram. And I'll see you guys next time on Smack Talk Wrestling Predictions.